Hello. Sorry for the wait. This is so loud on my end. Holy shit. I had a goal today to write 10 pages on my typewriter, and I needed, to finish that last page out. Because I think I had technically hit 10, but 2 of the pages, because they were chapter endings, only filled, half to a third of the page, so I wanted to do one more. Anyway, hello. Hello, everyone. Unfortunately, we are, in fact, back in Nevada. Because I believe Nikki was here last time and was like, oh yeah, so there's some stuff in the files, okay, can you, come on, there we go, there's some things in the files that tell you things about the end of the game, and I was like, okay, you know what, we're just gonna go to bed, I'll read those on my own time. And then the next day I opened up the, wiki page for them, and I read, oh, I just closed my book, and I actually needed that page. Hold on, let me grab a book. But I opened the wiki page, and I started reading them, and I'm reading them, and I went, oh, these were questions that we had that never got answered, and it's going to bother me a lot personally if I don't do this on stream, if it's not in a VOD, because otherwise there's just let's be honest, I stopped pretty immediately, so I don't actually know, where was I in this book? Here, I think. I don't actually know how many questions get answered, but we definitely had some questions that got answered. So here we are, we're back again. Let me set up a few more things, and then we can get started. And then after that, we're just playing unpacking because, yeah. We also have answers that got questioned, so true. So, a few days out, how am I feeling? I am feeling like I don't like this game. I think that if I had somehow been able to take it a lot less seriously, I would have enjoyed it more. However, that's not who I am as a person, and I think I said that a few times during stream. We just have Plush Layton with us tonight. I have a really hard time, especially when it's something as drawn out with this, where, I have to sit with it for 25 hours or however many hours it was on that save. 23 hours and 13 minutes. And I'm going week to week instead of playing in one go. I just have to, I can't not take it seriously. I wish I could care less, but I can only care a lot. Well, I guess the explanation, Nate, is that whenever he was hitting on Fi, he didn't know that they were related because, frankly, how would they be? Because, if we're being so honest here, 22-year-old Sigma, he didn't realize at the time he was in the body of a 64-year-old or whatever, so we'll give him that. I don't know how he didn't notice, but he didn't notice. How would he be the father of someone his age? That's still the question in this one, and the answer is alien time travel. So that's good. So here's what the deal is. The rest of this info is all text, and it's actually in the files, but I can't figure out how to get to the files without going to a random scene and then pausing and then going to the menu. Can I go to the menu? Can I go to the menu from here? I can't. So basically what has to happen, and this is, I imagine there's a bunch of people who don't realize there's some things that get unlocked afterwards. So you finish the game, and then you have to click into, a random thing. Just a random thing, because as far as I can tell, this is the only way to get to your files. And then you have to pause it. You have to pause it, and then you have to go into files. Why? I don't know. So, I sent Hannah a screen recording of this earlier. But this is everything that we did not bother reading during the game. And some of this I'm going to skip because it's puzzle related, but we basically didn't read anything in the cinema tab because when we were playing the last game, and then after this we've read all them, when we were playing the last game, we were reading some files and we actually got spoiled early for Sigma having bionic arms. So we just completely ignored the cinema stuff, but supposedly there's some stuff in there. If I don't see the one thing that I know for sure is in there that I didn't read, then I will open the wiki and we'll read it from there. But these are all like this, which we did do. And I'm going to switch this to the room and we're going to read them in order, which is going to be annoying. These are just letters. We don't have to read these. I don't know why these are in cinema and not in quest, but I guess, you know what? I guess you achieve, no, I do know. So you receive these cinema ones when, you achieve cinema ones during, like, cutscenes, the video cutscenes. You achieve, I keep saying that, you receive the quest ones during the play sections. So... Latin phrase, a familiar line from VLR. I love how they put VLR. They didn't even type out Virtue's last reward. They put VLR. Platitude acta est fabula. Applaud, the play is over. Great. And then, oh, I actually wrote this one down. Stabat Mater Dolorosa from the Latin hymn. It roughly translates to the sorrowful mother stood. I wrote this down and it never came back. So I wrote it down for no reason, and it was here the whole time. And I tried to look it up at one point, and I definitely spelled something wrong. Remind me when we're done, and I'll show you a picture of the notes that I took for these 3 games. This one is... Why don't they have, like, a button over here? This one is the one that I believe Delta said last week, on Thursday. Adentum forsque venusque iuvat. I don't speak Latin. But both love and luck help the bold. I believe this one more typically is translated to fortune favors the bold, but I don't know. Free the soul. Okay. This one we saw, a cult organization that desires to save mankind by creating their ideal new world. The head of this group is a mysterious figure called Brother, who we now understand is Delta. Great. Cool. Hydrofluoric acid. Cool. This one... we might have been told this, but DCOM is not a government-run facility, but is privately owned by a company researching space development. The company is largely owned by Free the Soul, but that detail is kept hidden from all knowledge. So I think we had discussed many times, like, how the government would not be doing this. Honestly, a private company wouldn't be doing this either, because how are you gonna convince your shareholders to do this? But if it's largely owned by Free the Soul, that is how you convince your shareholders to run this nonsense. Crash keys. This one is the first one that I saw the other day that caught my eye. A secret organization created by Akane Kurashiki. Their ultimate goal is to create a better future. Akane's brother Aoi is second in command and is assisting her from outside. Akane does have a brother, Nate. It is... Can you see? You can't. It is, it's Santa from the first game. It's Santa. So the reason that this one caught my eye was because there was only, one other mention of Aoi in the whole game. And it was one of the scenes when Junpei was, like, screaming at Akane because they were yelling at each other again, and he said something like, what about Aoi, huh? What about him? And then we just moved on, and it was so weird. It was so weird, and he never came back, and it has bothered me since that he was only mentioned once or twice. So here's me apologizing. He's mentioned twice, or 3 times. Which one is the game capture? There we go. This one. Beautiful. Wow. That's for people who aren't familiar with 999. This guy right here, this is Akane's brother, and you can tell because they both have weird scarves and matching weird hand glove arm covering situations. It was the fastest way for me to pull up pictures of them, weirdly enough, where I would know exactly where they were, so that's what I chose to use. Thank you, as always, Hannah, for the murder board. So, this is where I went, oh, well, alright. He's helping from the outside, doing what we don't know. Like, he's doing something, but what he's doing, we don't know, and I don't know what either of these two have skills in, other than running death games. So good for them. This one is from the last game. Technically, Radical 6 did not kill 6 billion people. The spreading of the virus caused chaos and panic around the world, prompting the explosion of several nuclear reactors. It is those explosions which led to the 6 billion deaths. Yes, so if you don't remember in VLR what this means, I need to take my headphones out. This music is so loud to me. In VLR, this was when they were like, well, we wanted to try to kill the virus, so we decided to set off a nuclear winter. What? What? I don't know what health professionals decided to do that, but okay, sure. Why not? And yes, Nate, in 999, you're playing it right now with someone. I'm sorry if this is technically spoiling it for you. In 999, Aoi and Akane, were working together to save Akane from, dying. Shift, I forgot what it stood for. Space-time human internal fluctuating transfer. Sure. This one is a hint that I don't actually remember. Oh, we just didn't use that. We just didn't do that. Yes. Everyone but 7 knew who they were in. Incinerator moment. Just some fun facts about incinerators for you. Incinerators are required to reach temperatures of at least 1,560 degrees Fahrenheit, 850 degrees Celsius, for 2 seconds to ensure proper material breakdown. Human cremation occurs at 1,400 to 2,100 Fahrenheit, or 760 to 1,150 degrees Celsius. Though I do believe that you need to do it for a hot second. I think both this game and 999 were kind of just like, one burst will immediately turn you to ash. One pretty quick burst, but I think it actually has to be I think it's a significant amount of time to do it properly, so I don't know. The daydream syndrome. The brain cannot handle the amount of information entering the brain and in effect shuts down. The cause of the syndrome is currently unknown, but we do know now that it's just urine esper. So stop doing that. Stop doing that. We never saw this. So you had to I believe you picked this up during the cutscenes that we didn't get for a while. And then during the cutscenes you get after you just let the Sean who killed Mira time run out, which we didn't do until after we finished the game, are bad. They should have locked the end of the game. They really needed to lock the end of the game. It would have saved us a lot of issues. This is basically just proving, even though we're playing this, in whatever order, people are not all awake at the same time because it's the same facility. Great. This is just them explaining the multiverse, but I'll read it to you anyway. Video game structure can help explain. Fucking can it? You're a video game, do better. Protagonist P travels down a road until he reaches a 3-way fork. You, the player, choose the left path, and P ends up abducted by terrorists and holed up in an underground cell forever. You try a second time by selecting the right path. You avoid the terrorists, but P is hit by a truck and permanently handicapped. Getting annoyed, you sigh and go back and choose The last route down the middle, P comes across a man attacking a girl from an affluent family and fights him off. The girl and P fall in love, get married, and live together happily ever after. By this point, the game is mostly over. It is this ending that is considered the best end, but is it really? Taking the multiverse theory into consideration, the P who chooses the left path, LP, must think, why am I not the P who chose the center path, CP, and instead stuck in this... Wait. Why am I not the P who chose the center path and instead stuck in this cell? I think that's a typo. But if there is only one world, then LP's history disappears once P chooses the center path. Some of you may be thinking, then why isn't it just a straight road? But it's not that simple. What about what happens with the P who picked the right path, RP, roleplay? He gets into an accident, but after extensive rehab, wins a gold medal at the Paralympics. He marries a beautiful wife, has several children, and by the time he's old, there are many grandchildren too. Congratulations. So consider again, if the world is one single path, what about RP's life? Where did his glory go? What about his happiness with his family? If the only one who remains is CP with his rich wife, is that a true happy end? This is so weird. I honestly feel like, I don't know where we got this one. This one feels weird because it feels like Junpei's argument or Tenmyoji's argument from the end of the last game where he was like, what happens to like the rest of us? Like, yeah, like a lot of people died, but like I have Quark now. Like, Quark is important to me. That is what matters to me. If you undo all this, I don't get to have my son anymore. So like, it kind of feels like that, but what's really weird about this is like, that's not really something that's up for consideration in this game, I guess. Like, no one talks about Quark. We don't know what happened there. He's technically not born yet. So I don't know. This one's weird. I don't know what the point of this one is, and I don't know. Can I find out where we got this one? Let me check real quick. Zero Time Dilemma, Multiverse, and the Single Path. It looks like you get this one after you watch the C-Team execution, maybe. I think that's where you get that one. So I don't know. It feels like they had ideas and like didn't necessarily do anything with any of them. They just kind of threw them at you and called it a day. Why I have this, I don't fucking remember. Why do I have this? Zero Time Dilemma 2 to 100. Two. Why do we get this? What is this for? I don't remember what this is for. I don't think it is, but I don't know what this is. But I did immediately, trying to find this, I did find a Reddit post that says, Zero Time Dilemma really rubbed me the wrong way. I absolutely despise the implication that shifting is actually murder. This automatically makes Junpei, Sigma, Phi, Diana, and Akane out to be mass murderers, and other people. But like the thing is, they're not wrong, but like the game doesn't like approach it really necessarily as if like they briefly touch upon it and then decide they don't care. It's really weird. It's a really weird game. Monty Hall problem. I'll read this to you since we never saw this part. A probability puzzle based off a TV game show hosted by Monty Hall that is strongly divisive among scholars. The problem is as followed. 3 doors are before you, one hides a prize behind it, while the other 2 hide goats. The door with the prize is random and only known by Monty. Monty asks, which one of the 3 doors will you open? You then pick a door, but it remains closed. One of the 2 remaining doors is opened, revealing a goat. It's possible both doors contain a goat, and you pick the door with the prize. But then Monty asks, now there are only 2 closed doors. Which one do you choose? Will you change your mind or stay with your first choice? How should you answer? And then you'd think there's no way to know which is right, but the chances are 2 to 1. The probability for either door is the same. However, this question will be answered in the game. The gas mask location is completely random. Therefore, using probability to choose the correct locker may still result in getting the wrong one simply because of bad luck. Beautiful. Really good. Really good note. The central computer for the transporter. The object to be transported is placed within the input pod, which then reads its composition. That data is then sent through space-time to the nucleus. Alternatively, you can have sex in it. Data from the nucleus is sent to the output pod where it is read. The object is then recreated inside. The tank contains the materials used for transportation. A selection of the elements within include oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, sulfur, potassium, sodium, chlorine, iron, zinc, magnesium, fluorine, silicon, titanium, rubidium, strontium, bromine, lead, copper, aluminum, tin, cerium, cadmium, boron, iodine, molybdenum, barium, manganese, selenium, nickel, mercury, arsenic, lithium, cesium, silver, germanium, antimony, chromium, cobalt, and vanadium. Why is this here? Why is this here? Why do we have this? Thank you, I guess. Where did the air ducts go? Wow, great. Words C, Q, and D are being in the same space means the air ducts in the prep room and lounge don't lead to other wards. Inside is a small space for Gab where he often rests on a rug. I was wondering that earlier. He's just taking fucking naps between. He just goes in, sits down, and eventually comes back out. A robot with a round helmet on its head is named Sean. He has never been called anything other than that by those in the underground shelter, which is supposed to hint to you that Q is a different person, but we straight up didn't read any of these. We did not read any of these, so we didn't know. A parasite that uses snails as initial hosts and then transfers to birds. The egg originates in the digestive tract of a snail, I think we heard this, and then migrates to the tentacles. The leucochloridium causes the tentacle to take on the appearance of a worm or caterpillar, which draws the attention of birds. Once eaten by a bird, the parasite will lay an egg that leaves the body for the feast with the feces, which then becomes food for snails, and the cycle continues. What if the snail mentioned in Zero's story had a leucochloridium inside? Sure, whatever. Dude, like, the Kyle K thing is so weird. Because we're never gonna know what the fuck they were talking about there. We really are never gonna know. This one is other things. These are more, I don't want to read these. Okay, great. If metempsychosis really exists, what are the chances you are an intelligent life form in your next life as opposed to everything else? Taking a number of things into account, everything else has a much greater chance. But if you were reborn as a duck, frog, or even a paramecium, there would be no way you'd be able to know and recognize your own existence. In effect, it's not any different from being a sponge or a rock. That being said, rocks and sponges don't have rules of their own, aside from a few notable exceptions, so you wouldn't care about your next life. Why would you? You're never gonna know what happened to Kyle. That was so strange. They added a whole separate ending just to talk to Kyle/K/whoever the fuck, and then just dropped it. An example, you're in a totally dark room with a die in front of you. If you roll a 1, the light turns on, but any other number keeps the light off. You can roll it as many times as you wish. So what will the dice number be when you see it? 1, of course, because you can't see any other result. Another example, the whole world and everything on it stops in the next second. Exactly a minute later, disregarding who would be the one timing this, it all starts up again. No one will even notice that time has stopped. In other words, there's no point to considering that 1 minute, as you can't say that it even existed. It's the same as being reborn a duck, frog, or yellow sponge. The die in the dark and the halted world. There are scholars who claim that if metempsychosis is absolutely true, you're guaranteed to be reborn as an intelligent life form. It's possible that this is a result of the observable selection effect, an aspect of the anthropic principle. Oh, I've looked this up before! Girl, help. I definitely looked this up for a different Zero Escape game. So, that is so funny. In philosophy, metempsychosis is the transmigration of the soul, especially its reincarnation after death. The term is derived from ancient Greek philosophy, which actually makes a lot of sense, because I thought this sounded like philosophy. I think it is, what is it from? And has been recontextualized by modern philosophers such as Arthur Schopenhauer, Kurt Gödel. I can't pronounce these names. It also plays a prominent role in James Joyce's Ulysses, and is associated with... I never know how to say this man's name. Nietzsche. There we go. It's interesting because, like, these last 2 games in particular, not as much of the first one, though there is a bit there. There is, like, a bunch of philosophy in them. But, like, and I say this as someone who has not studied a lot of philosophy, I don't feel like the games do it in the most interesting way. I feel like there were ways they could have done it a little better. Especially in, like, in this, they're just, like, they're info dumping to us in a file section. But, yeah... It's weird, the level of... It's weird because, like, the level of philosophy that's in these is debatable, but then they also try to have, like, other sciences, and those other sciences tend to be, like, really wrong, but then, like, there's just casual stuff where it's like, okay, this is, like, a philosophy question that you would debate in philosophy class, but whatever. This is just about your language center. The popularly held belief is that our language center resides in the left side of the brain, but recent research has revealed that the side differs among individuals. Roughly 30 to 50% of those with their language center in the right hemisphere end up left-handed, while only a small percentage are right-handed. The side containing the language center is called the major hemisphere. When were we talking about this? The other phi. Baby Phi was indeed transported from 1904 to 2008, but a Phi also remained in 1904. So this is what people were saying last stream when they said Phi raised herself. Rumor is she became a brilliant scientist and worked at a research facility in the US well into her 1000s. The facility was researching the transporter, and that's where Phi from 1904 was sent. So no. So Nate, what happened is, I feel like I need to draw you a diagram. So because they make a copy, so Baby Phi is born in 2028, right? Baby Phi is born. She is then sent back to 1904. There is now a copy in 2028-ish and 1904. Baby Phi in 2028 dies. Now we just have the one in 1904. The one in 1904, for some reason, I don't remember why, is then sent, thank you, Hannah, is then sent to 2008. However, now we have one in 1904 and one in 2008. However, God, she was so old. She adopted a child when she was in her hundreds? Wait. Yes. And anyway, what they're saying is because there's 2 of her, she then raised herself when herself was transported to 2008. So she raised herself, and then that self died. So then, from that point on, from 2008, there's a singular Phi until 2029. Delta got sent back. Yes, they do stay. They are outrageously old because Delta's like 116. So Delta, born 2029, sent back to 1904. Baby Delta dies in 2029. But 1904 Delta, for some reason that I can't remember, just hung out. I don't remember why Phi was sent, but he wasn't. But that's what happened there. I love how they don't explain why they got older, but why they stayed so old. But, like, I get whatever. But also, like, they never explained why Quark, like, was immune and, like, bounced like rubber. So, this is the fucking snail part. I'm not gonna read it. It's the snail part. It's the snail part, you know? This is the stuff about, so this is Akane and Aoi's dad. And then the surgeon was killed. And then Sean was killed. So they got sent back to 1904. They got sent back to 1904 because no, Delta didn't get yeeted. They sent it back to 1904 because they wanted to send the babies back to, I believe, before Free the Soul maybe had a hold of them. But I can't remember why they sent Phi to 2008. Like, I don't remember why. I know maybe I can find it on, hold on, I'm on the wiki. Let's see, Phi. Team T, okay, but like 2008. It doesn't say why she was sent. Yeah, I think they just sent her, which is kind of wild. Like, they were just like, I don't know, just try it out, see what happens. I don't know. Okay. This is actually the one where I went, oh shit, I have to stop. I have to stop reading this. Because this is actually, like, information we had questions about. So, I've got to do a voice. Are you ready? I don't remember Diana's voice, so I didn't have to do any voices last week. I literally didn't have to do any voices. We just hung out for 4.5 hours. This must be fate. Fate? Diana smiles weakly from the bed at Sigma's question. Don't you remember? You told me that yourself. Me? Oh, I never said that. If it really was me, then... Yes, the Sigma who is 67 inside. Diana shifts her frail hand closer to Sigma, and he gently grasps it between his own. So, this confirms, which I wasn't sure about, is if younger Sigma shifted back before Diana died. Which, the answer is yes. Apparently. The Sigma before her is not the one who was trapped in the shelter. It's the same body, but a different consciousness. On April 13th, 2029, Sigma was at the headquarters of Crash Keys, his eyes and arms replaced with robotic ones. There, the young Sigma returns to his body from 45 years in the future and begins to carry out Akane's instructions. So we were just kind of confused by what was happening. So, he shifted. So this is the VLR. This is the VLR end. So this is the end of VLR where he shifts back, sees his arms, freaks out, and Akane is in Snake's weird little cult outfit and is like, blah, 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 you have to blah, 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 you know? Great. So in this ending, this is when he shifted back. Which, I don't know why we were so confused about that. I think, you know what, what we were confused by, we were confused by if Diana had died or not. And so she isn't dead yet. She isn't dead yet. Yeah. He shifts back before she dies and Sigma's forced to be malnutrition and also save the world and also watch this random girl die. No. Peepaw Sigma, yeah. I don't think he's malnutritioned though, because this is the ending where Sigma's arms were blown off, and Phi got Radical 6. But they weren't trapped in the underground thing. No, there are no babies in this one. To be clear, this is an ending where there are no babies. The only time where there are babies is the ending where Diana and Sigma die from malnutrition and starvation. No, so this is the VLR ending. This is VLR ending. In the one where they have babies, Diana, Sigma, both the babies, and Gab, they all die. They all die of starvation. Don't, like... don't really question how Phi... So I think what happened... I think that at one point they say that this alien... whatever the fuck... I think they said it might be able to send to different time streams, but that also might not be true. Phi is there because Phi is there. Great. Anyway,
how many years has it been since you came here, Diana?
A little over 3, I think. I followed you here in May 2029.
A violent coughing fit takes over after she speaks. Sigma helps her sit up and softly pats her back until it subsides.
Why didn't the medical pod work?
I told you, it's fate.
Diana's skin is deathly pale, but her eyes still shine with life, just like a child's. Weird, don't say that.
I've always dreamt of coming here. Did you know that Diana is the name of the goddess of the moon? I've wanted to do this ever since I was little, so I'm perfectly fine with dying here.
What are you saying?
I've been able to spend the last 3 years living with you, Sigma. I have treasured every moment.
Sigma lowers his head, his expression pained.
Please don't make that face. You don't need to be sad. In the year 2074, you will shift back to Christmas 2028, and the next day,
old me will head to the decom facility in the Nevada desert to meet you.
Diana nods. Sigma closes his eyes and shakes his head. Whoa! Diana is not in VLR, just to be clear. Sorry, I needed to take a second. What do you mean?
That's not it. I mean, I'm in love with you.
His declaration stops as Diana's lips close over his in a kiss and the rest of his words are lost. After a moment, Diana murmurs, it must be a wonderful future. The future we found each other, where we found each other in 2028. Sigma holds onto her tightly. Aching, heartfelt sobs echo within a cold, silent world. What? Thank you so much for the update, Nate. Wait. How is he in love with her? I mean that so genuinely. How is he in love with her? I thought he just shifted back. Maybe I'm wrong? I don't know. This is very confusing. This is more confusing. Okay. This is the post payoff stuff. So this is I hope you're all ready for some awful. I feel so bad. I still am not cool with Carlos in game. I've decided I'm okay with talking about him in my own AUs. But in game, Carlos, he's dead to me. Hope that helps. I understand he was faking. There were other ways. He is dead to me. I've decided. The day is bright and clear. Oh, God. A girl in a white dress strolls along the beach, with the wind tossing her long blonde hair playfully. Up until a half a year ago, she had been confined to a bed. Carlos's eyes still tear up every time he sees her smile. Maria moment.
Come on, Carlos. You don't always have to help me. That's the point of my rehab.
It's Maria for real.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, Maria.
Carlos brushes her hair out of her face. It's definitely not the summer sun that's making him act out of sorts. It's the fact that his sister is standing before him. Maria grins up at him. What would Kane and Junpei say if they saw you being all fussy like this?
It's fine. They understand how important you are to me.
Both you and Junpei put your lives on the line.
That was a different history, but going through that means we know how to treat reverie syndrome.
Sorry. Why did you tell your, like, young sister about the time you and Junpei said, it's fine, we'll just kill ourselves? Why did you tell her this?
What would your weird situationship think about this? I can't believe we have the ability to jump through space-time.
I'm just glad you're able to control it now.
It's all because Carlos met Akane and Junpei that Maria was able to recover. He wishes he could show them just how well she's doing.
Whoa!
You're thinking about them right now, aren't you, Carlos?
What makes you say that?
Because you're smiling?
Carlos closes his eyes as his unconscious smile turns fond. They're just about your age. Whoa! How old is Carlos? I thought she was way older. Hold on. How old is he? Do I have an age on him? Age unknown. Probably about 28. Older than 22. Older than 22. Oh, okay, we missed this. Carlos mentions his younger sister is currently 22 years old in the power room. Also, Junpei mentions Carlos is older than him and Akane while they're both 22. Were they 21 in... They were 21 in 999? Whoa. People lied to me. People lied to me several times. People lied to me several times. Because I swear to God, I asked how old they were, and someone was like, I don't know, early mid-20s, like 23 maybe, and that is not true. So how old is Snake? Snake is 24. Okay. Snake is 24. How old is Aoi? Aoi is also 24. Clover was 18-ish. I mean, he's not older than Sigma. Sigma is also 22. They're the same fucking age. They're literally the exact same age. So yeah, they're the same age, Hannah. How old is Phi? I mean, Phi is whatever the fuck Phi is. Phi is 20-ish. Oh, okay, yeah. No, I thought Sigma and not Sigma. I thought Akane and Junpei were like 23 or 24. I mean, it's not that big a deal, but I also didn't realize Carlos was 28. Yeah, Phi is 20. My fucking God. Half-brother. Half-brother? How is he a half-brother? Wait a minute. Sorry, we're here. Yeah, it says half-brother. Oh, Sigma. So, I guess. Are they technically brothers? I guess? Clones make things weird. Okay, wait. What is going on? Sorry, I'm so deeply confused by this game series right now. Oh, hi. I don't know. My best guess is because he never grew up with Phi, so he just doesn't know her, like, at all. You know, like, he just doesn't know her at all. So, Maybe the clone in Zero Escape 3 is good. When did this game come out? Oh, that's unfortunate. Maybe the left clone in Zero Escape 3 is good. Bestie, they're not gonna talk about it. They're literally not gonna they're not gonna give us fucking anything, that's for sure. Okay, let's go back to this so we can finish this. Because we didn't even finish this conversation. We got so confused by the fact that Akane and Junpei were the same age as Maria that we just fully stopped reading. We just completely stopped reading this. We just moved on. Sorry, Carlos was having a moment. He was having a moment.
It kind of feels like I gained a brother and another sister,
if that's what you want to call it.
You are going to their wedding, aren't you?
Set it on fire. Under zero circumstances should they be getting married. They're gonna get divorced in a week. Oh my god.
Yeah, and you're coming with me.
But there is something Carlos needs to do first. Back when the three of them parted ways, when you locate the terrorist, what is happening? Sorry. This is just like a wild amount of stuff to have in the file notes that you have to go back into another save. Like, you have to go back into your save and click a random thing to click and jump back into to open the files to read this. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh my god. I'll be waiting to hear word from you when you locate that terrorist.
You know, the terrorist. Which one? Because I thought Akane and Aoi were the terrorists in this. Carlos held out his right hand toward Akane and Junpei, and the other two grabbed onto it with their own. There was no way of knowing if Delta was telling the truth. Oh, that terrorist. But if he was, one fanatic would kill off all of humanity. Akane and Junpei vowed to help to find this person, and Carlos offered to help. I already forgot about this person. My bad. My bad. He can still find... Listen, the ending was so confusing to me, it didn't help that we missed most of the information before we got the ending. He can still feel the strong bond between the three of them, their hands clasped together tightly. Okay.
I suppose I'd better get used to talking more before the wedding, huh?
Holding her hair out of her face, Maria reaches out to her brother, who takes her hand in his, and they continue walking down the beach. The same blue sky above them stretches over friends Carlos knows he can rely on. I'm also confused about the fanatic, Hannah. I'm so sick of them. We're just gonna, you guys can comment. I'm gonna literally make 0 comments throughout this so we can just get through it and move on from them because I'm over it. I'm fucking over them. Ready, set, go. Junpei sits upon a white couch somewhere within the secret location of Crash Keys, twiddling a pen and sighing.
What else do I say?
Lying on the table in front of him is a half-written letter. Suddenly, Akane pops up behind him.
What are you doing, Junpei?
She playfully teases. Gah. Junpei dives for the letter, but she snatches it from his fingers and begins reading.
Let's see. Carlos, without you, Akane and I would have never gotten together. Thank you.
Is this an invitation to the wedding?
No, it's most definitely not.
He makes a grab for the paper, but Akane quickly moves it out of his reach.
It's just a progress report, Junpei mutters. Okay, yeah, I mentioned the wedding, but the date hasn't been set yet. I made a promise to you and your brother!
Aoi mentioned number 3 or 4.
We wouldn't get married until we've dealt with the fanatic.
Akane's face flushes bright red. She hastily hides her face behind the letter and goes back to reading.
I'd like nothing more than to get the approval and blessing of our old friends and those of you we met 6 months ago.
This isn't my Akane voice. Sorry. Eyes wide, Akane glances at Junpei. He avoids her gaze, awkwardly scratching the back of his head. Why are these in, like, 2 different... Why do these keep getting split?
You know, there's a history where I keep searching for you, even after I'm old and craggly. It still exists out there somewhere. And when I think of that...
A sharp pain jolts through Junpei's face. Akane is pinching his cheek. Ow, that hurts. What are you doing?
To prove to you that this isn't a dream, Akane giggles. You still can't believe we're together like this?
Junpei shakes his head.
You've changed a lot, Junpei. A half a year ago, you were never this honest. It's like... How do I begin to describe it?
Like a dream?
Huh?
Junpei leans in and quickly pinches Akane. Oh, now you've done it! Jesus Christ. She darts forward and goes after Junpei with both hands, getting in a pinch wherever she can, and Junpei does the same. Once they start laughing, it's very hard to stop, and they keep going until they are out of breath. I guess this is all thanks to Carlos, too.
That's why I'm writing that thank you letter. On Akane's finger, a ring glitters on her left hand, a ring glitters on her ring finger.
Wow, that was rough. I will not say that's good writing, because that was kind of rough. Root Beer Boy, well, okay. In the defense of them, Root Beer Boy hasn't been born yet. So, I don't know. They also wouldn't have known anything about him. I don't know. I guess my question is, they didn't need any, they didn't need any models for this part because it's all just text. So I straight up don't know why they didn't, mention Clover. Because, here's the thing. As much as I'm like, where the fuck is Snake? He was only referenced vaguely, twice in the last game, and he wasn't mentioned at all in this game. But I don't know why they wouldn't mention Clover. Clover was in the last game, and it was confirmed that in that game that her and Junpei knew each other. So I don't know why they wouldn't mention, why, they said, all our old friends and the ones we met 6 months ago. Why wouldn't they mention them? No, Nate. I said no commentary while I was reading. I'm done reading. I'm doing commentary now. I don't get it. Okay, this is gonna sound mean because they did write it, they did write it for the game. It came out at the same time as the game. And only Nate might know what I'm talking about. But Blood of Olympus, the last book in the Heroes of Olympus series, is notoriously disliked. And in, I believe, 2020, maybe, for some reason, that was when Rick Riordan, released a short story where, all the characters react to, people's opinions of the book and not liking it, and they're all actually, it makes perfect sense to us. Why don't people like this? It's so weird. It's truly, the most bizarre thing ever. It's really strange. And, this has similar vibes where it's just, here's a bunch of, weirdly somehow out of character text that they wrote at the exact same time. Supposedly Rick Riordan wrote this, years ago, but I don't know. Where they're just yep, and this is what they're doing now, and they're all happy, and it's what? Because, I can't get over the fact that they just end the game with Carlos holding a gun out, and then are you have to figure out yourself that you have to go back and read files to just guess what happened. What? That's so weird. It's so strange. It's a really weird choice. Anyway, these three. I might show you guys after, because it is really funny and weird.
Hey, Mira, how are you feeling? Are you lonely?
Come on, Eric. You visited last week. Eric smiles wryly and reaches out to Mira with his left hand. Mira does the same, and their hands with matching silver rings align on either side of the plexiglass window. Why are they together?
I brought a new guest to see you today.
Eric shifts to the side and a head pops into view.
Hi, Amira. Long time no see.
It's Sean, right?
Yup, I'm happy you remembered.
Behind Mira, the sun is shining through an iron-barred window, lighting up the visitor's room. It's been a long time, Sean. It's good to see you. The smile that appears on her face is real. Mira no longer needs to plaster on a fake one. Why? I'll talk after.
When I heard you turned yourself in, I was really surprised.
Eric was the one who convinced me. He said I should pay for my sins so we could be together.
So that's why you got married in jail.
Eric ducks his head shyly. This feels like fan fiction. Are you sure you're okay with this? Mira asks. He looks at her in confusion. Why are these three? You don't regret marrying me? I did carve out your heart in another history. Isn't that what you said, Sean?
Yeah, you did.
Eric looks Mira straight in the eye.
I've already told you this a bunch of times. I forgive you, no matter what happens. Besides, you haven't killed me in this history yet, right?
Yet. Mira's lips twist wryly.
But the Heart Rippers killed people already, so...
Oh, but the Heart Rippers killed... Can you guys write better? But the Heart Rippers killed people already. So many.
Sean, stop it!
Eric turns angrily on Sean, and Mira's face falls into a frown, but Sean continues speaking. You've turned yourself in, Mira, but that doesn't mean you've paid for all the crimes you did. I doubt the family and friends that were left behind would forgive you even if you were put on death row. There's no way you can clear your sins here.
Dude, fucking calm down.
Mira grits her teeth. But there is a way to clear them. Well, not what you've already done technically. You'll have to pay for those your whole life. That will never change. But maybe you can in another universe. Suddenly, Sean's fist crashes through the plexiglass window. Ah! Mira jumps backward while Eric is frozen in shock. What are you... Eric can't even finish speaking before Sean moves. Jumping through the broken window, he kicks the outside wall of the visitor room, causing it to crumble and reveal a giant hole. An alarm immediately starts blaring, and police officers run to the room, but Sean darts forward and takes them all down in the blink of an eye. He holds out a hand to Mira. Let's go.
Go where?
I know where the transporter is being stored.
You're saying we should go change history?
Eric finally stutters.
No way! You're fucking kidding me! No! Oh my god. I'm just gonna sit down here for a second. Okay. What on earth? Okay, yeah. One sec. That was violent. Plush Herschel. What the fuck is going on? Sorry, this is absurd to me. Okay, I'll talk more in a second.
I know where the transporter is being stored. You're saying we should go change history?
Eric finally stutters. Sean nods. To stop young Mira from committing murder. Mira, I'm pretty sure that's the only way you can clear your sins. Mira stares out through the hole in the wall at the horizon extending beyond. And that's it. That's the end. So just to be clear, the end of the files implies that Mira is going to go back in time and stop young Mira from killing Eric's mom. There we go. Therefore, there is going to be a history where none of the games happened. And we're ending on the note of, and none of the games happened. Like, these games do still acknowledge that all these histories do happen, but they are ending on none of it happened, which is very funny. This is, okay, so the quest stuff we actually went through pretty much all of, because this is like the stuff we got that was helping us, like, solve puzzles, so there's nothing in here. Okay. So, it is in the snail one, so let me pull that up for you real quick so we can explain it just one more time. If I can find it. No, which one is it? This one. So, here we go. 17 years ago, a young mother went jogging in the park. This is Eric's mom. She reached for a fork where she usually goes right, but then she goes left because of a snail. She is killed by Mira. Mira starts killing people because she can't feel anything, and she's like, well, everyone always says your emotions are in your heart. So she just kills a random woman and touches her heart, like digs through her organs and pulls out her heart and touches it and is like, I guess I feel something. So this is Eric's mom, who is then killed by Mira. Then the suspect is a Japanese man. So he gets convicted, he is executed, and his wife dies by suicide. Those parents are Aoi's and Akane's parents. Great. So it's implied that for some reason 999 wouldn't have happened if Delta said this too. He said something like, well, if your parents hadn't died, 9-9, like, the first game wouldn't have happened, but, like, they just happened to be among the kidnapped kids. I think they still could have gotten kidnapped if they had parents. Maybe it would have been harder to kidnap them, but, like, I think it still would have happened, so I don't know. I don't know. And then the convicted man called a taxi. So that's Akane and Aoi's dad called a taxi, which killed, but the taxi picked up a surgeon instead of him, and then the surgeon died, and then Sean died. But I don't know how that ties back to Delta, actually. I guess, so Akane and Aoi create crash keys, which wouldn't have happened if their parents didn't die and they didn't go into 999's Nonori game, the first one. And the second one, I guess. But Free the Soul was created by Delta. This doesn't actually solve any of my questions. Hold on. I think Delta was being dramatic when he said none of this would have happened. I think he's just wrong. I'm so confused. This game isn't good. It's pretty rough. Who's dead? Great, they're all alive. Let's get out of here. I think he's shifting blame. This is so... hold on, I want to go back on his page. So, this page says he's Kyle. Then what the fuck was that last ending? Hold on. KN, blah, 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 blah. He develops amnesia. Yes, yes, yes. I think it's saying that Kyle and Kay are the same, but what was that ending? Kyle's body, not consciousness, awakens in the infirmary after Sigma and Phi are sent back. His amnesia is mysteriously gone. He speaks with Tenmyoji and Quark, who refuse to accept their history together will be erased if Sigma and Phi succeed on their mission to prevent the release of Radical 6. Then he speaks to Clover and Alice, who refuse to accept that they'll never again see anyone they knew from 45 years ago. Yeah, she's got a fucking alien pod. They plan to travel back to their own time using a method Akane suggested to them that is somehow related to the theory of Schrodinger's cat. I don't think it is. He then talks to Phi, whose consciousness has returned from her mission in the past after it failed. She refuses to talk about it with Kyle, explaining that if she did, it could change history and any chance of the mission succeeding would disappear. This is later substantiated by Akane, who claims that, quote-unquote, Kyle's consciousness is not that of Kyle Klim, but is of a mysterious, uncontrolled force. She also asserts that he is the key to the success of Phi and Sigma's mission to save humanity, and that he's inhabiting question mark's body. What? Question mark refers to the consciousness of the player. Sure. In Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward, question mark is the consciousness that resides in Kyle Klim after switching places with his consciousness in the non-canon another time. In the non-canon? Non-canon? What do you mean it's not canon? That's the only time anyone is ever remotely mad at Akane. And it's not even mad. Tenmyoji is just like... Oh, that went far. Holy shit. Tenmyoji is just like, listen, it pisses me off that I would possibly lose Quark because our life matters too. So I'm just gonna fucking leave and never talk to Akane again. And that is the largest consequence Akane faces for anything she has done in these games. Literally. I do understand where people are coming from when they talk about Akane being like kind of like a unhinged bad
like, woman who doesn't make good choices or whatever. But, like, I wish that she had more consequences because, like, the games give her nothing. Like, they give her nothing, and then Junpei gets yelled at instead, and I wish that she was making these choices where she decides to use and manipulate and turn against all of these people who care about her, and she faces consequences, and she does it anyway. That would be way more interesting. It really would. Okay, hold on. According to the director, the mention of question mark's experience was in a regular bonus script in Virtue's The Last Reward, which is like a postscript of a novel. The director originally ended the story with end or beginning question mark when Sigma witnessed the antimatter plant explosions, but during the Japanese voice recording sessions, an earthquake occurred. Opposed to the idea of ending the story in a similar vein, Uchikoshi, I don't actually know how to say his name. Uchikoshi wrote another time as a bonus script, meaning that it is not intended to be chronological in the storyline. However, this does not necessarily mean that question mark has no connection to the chronology of the official storyline. Question mark, the player's consciousness, could be seen as a force which appears in all three games and manipulates the decisions of the protagonists by mind hacking them. Question mark is a powerful shifter and an esper, able to witness and manipulate the events and timelines of the game. Oh! Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Whoo! Let me out. Okay. In regards to Virtue's Last Reward, according to Akane Kurashiki, question mark is a powerful and anomalous esper who can transfer their consciousness through space-time, unlike all other espers. She calls question mark an uncontrolled variable in her plan. And okay. But, like, here's the thing. I do get it. But, like, literally, the existence of question mark is not mentioned in Zero Time Dilemma. The lack of question marks mentioned, along with the apparent absence of Kyle, whose consciousness supposedly traveled back to 2028 to assist Sigma, and the lack of conclusion for the Clover Alice storyline means Another Time's end plot points were dropped in Zero Time Dilemma, likely because not everyone unlocked Another Time End and because of budget. However, Kotaro Uchikoshi said that there is no doubt question mark intervened during ZTD. Yeah, fucking no doubt. Uchikoshi added, I put some fragment of the player's involvement in ZTD. This is the reason I made it appear that the player is capable of using an ability similar to Delta's mind hack. But please don't consider this to be the ultimate answer. The reason I don't want everyone to see this as the only answer is because I've come across a number of interesting theories in forums, which I do not want to deny. Maybe the character who was making the decisions in the decision game was the one who was participating in the game, or perhaps it's Delta or even the player. There are many ways of interpreting it, and I hope each fan will decide what fits best for them personally. Since question mark is the player's consciousness could be seen as controlling the actions of Diana, Carlos, and Sean during the game. In this sense, then question mark could be seen as a mind hacker, as well as an esper and shifter. If one of the protagonists presses the button in the decontamination room, they mention it felt as if an external force was guiding their decision to press the button, likely not to the player mind hacking the protagonist. Question mark is compared to Toxoplasma gondii, a parasite that can control other people's actions. These are all from before ZTD came out, which is so upsetting. That's so depressing. So the way I feel about this is other video games have done the player is a character and a controlling force in a much more interesting way. Because, like, yeah, it was when the characters were like, why did I make that decision? But, like, it also could have just been Delta. Because, like, Delta was just watching all the time, mind hacking them constantly. So it could have been either. But the first that comes to mind is, like, Deltarune. I know there's only 2 chapters. Deltarune does the player is controlling the characters way, way better with an unfinished story. You know? In a much, much, much more interesting way. And I think the reason is because, aside from this one not being very good, it's because he didn't want it to necessarily be what was going on. Like, you needed to be able to either know about question mark or not know about question mark. And that means that there's an entire other character, all that can be explained for, which kind of makes it pointless to me. I don't think it's very good. Okay, you know what? Good point. It's not great. Was there anything else I wanted to say before we go do something else? I mean, I can talk, you know what? I will talk while I, play unpacking. Because I can unpack and talk about Zero Escape. We can multitask. It's possible. We have the technology. And I have the ability to be super annoying. So much of it just doesn't make sense. You know? Like, not just this game. When you take this series as a whole, a lot of it does not track at all, which is very upsetting, frankly. Man. Zero Escape isn't good. Did I not finish this? I thought I was done with this one. Well, you go there for now. Yeah, we blew up Nevada. I just, you know... It's not good. No, 999 is so good, and that's honestly so upsetting to me that it kind of is, like, really, really good. And I really just, my brain just doesn't want to, I guess, be normal. Very genuinely, I do just, like, have my own AU in my head. Hannah knows about it, and that's kind of all I consider, because otherwise, I'm just, like, you know, I'm making up whatever. I only want some characters to exist sometimes. Thank you. I just simply think that, Sigma and Phi, they don't need to be related. They can just... Oh, okay. I missed a ton of stuff in here when I was last playing this game. I'm so sorry. I think that they can... They can just, like, be worsties in college. You know? They should be worsties in college, frankly. They should be getting banned from every single Olive Garden together. Why can I not put these on... Why won't you not let me stack pillows? That's incredibly rude. Yeah, characters being related is fine. I just, like, it's so confusing and, like, unnecessary to my brain for those two to be related that I'm like, why are we doing this? That one, at least, to me, it does make a little more sense than some of the other reveals. Because there's a lot of reveals in Zero Time Dilemma where it genuinely just feels like they did it there. They put it there just to have a cool reveal for you. Just because they wanted to surprise you with something, you know? Like, that's the reason that reveal is there. Just to surprise you. Just to make you go, oh, what the fuck? Like, those kinds of reveals don't, I tend to not like them as much. Like, what did this add to the story? You know? Oh, okay. What did you add to the story by making them related? I don't know. Not, like, as much as you think you did. Yeah, it does feel kind of like a gotcha moment. I will say, I mentioned this, I think, in the last game, or maybe at the beginning of this one, that Nella had told me that there is a character that people shipped. There were 2 characters in a game. Nice and vague, Nella, if you're watching this. It was really subtly vague and not at all related to the fact that we had just been talking about Zero Escape. There were characters who... It was revealed really late in game that they were related, and a lot of people shipped them, and it was really awkward. And I was just like, I can imagine. I think it came up because we were talking about that one anime ship. I don't remember who it is because I don't watch it, but they were revealed to be cousins, and everyone was like, come on, man, what the fuck? If you know, you know. I just don't remember. I don't remember because I did it. I don't watch that one. Yes, thank you, Detective Conan. And it also reminded me, because when I saw that, it reminded me of people who reacted almost the same way to Herschel and Des being related. Because there's don't try to go find this person. I don't care. Who like at the beginning of a fic, some random fic I read where they were like, it started like, in this AU, they're not related. They're not related. That they're never going to be related to me. I don't know what level 5 was doing with that. And it's always so interesting to me, like, at what point you decide personally if you are going to believe canon for a thing or not, you know? I don't remember, I don't think I read that fic, I think I saw it in passing, so I don't know what I don't actually know what it's about, and I don't go find that person, you know, whatever. I'm just so curious by, like, when people do decide, like, okay, I'm going with canon, this happened, and when they're like, no, you know? It is an important piece of latent canon. I honestly don't know how I would process canon without knowing it, but I guess that's just me, and I guess on some regard, like, one of the things that interested me about Layton was Layton had a much shorter time frame for that than Detective Conan. With Detective Conan having this reveal, like, now, and it's a much older series, you know? So that was interesting to me that they... I saw a few people who were like, well, obviously they're related, they look exactly alike. And I was like, I feel bad. I feel bad because I assumed that was, like, the style of that series. So I wouldn't have been like, oh, they're definitely related, because I would have just been like, yep, that's what they all look like. So I was just like, oh, that sucks. That's really weird and awkward and crazy to have revealed so late. Is this just a giant thing of... I don't actually know what that is. I was gonna say it was soy sauce, and then I got scared and couldn't commit. What a wild thing to have revealed in a movie. That one was rough. That one was rough to watch. People react to. That was brutal. It was in a movie, yeah. So people found out, like, in a movie that I'm pretty sure was, like, in theaters. So people found out about this, like, in the movie theater. Ah! So awkward. So awkward. I don't know what I'd do. Because even, like, people, I feel like I've referenced, I've brought up, like, Star Wars in comparison to this before, where it's another one where, like, technically it was revealed in, like, the next movie, so you don't have, like, you have time to get attached. Sure, you can get attached in whatever amount of time you need, but, like, it's not, like, the longest amount of time in the world, you know? What is this? Oh, these are ones that aren't done. Great. I thought I did this whole house. I guess you know what? It might not have saved. Alternatively, there might be two times for it. I don't know. It's been a long time since we played this one. Yep. Yeah, there's a slight gap between the Star Wars movies. Because people have asked me before if I have never answered this ask because I didn't think it was worth my time. But I have been asked if I thought that, if I thought Leighton was queerbaiting. And my answer is, no, not necessarily, because I always say I can't tell you that because I didn't see any of the, like, advertising. So I can't actually tell you if I think that or not. But based on, like, the game, I can't say yes. Like, I don't necessarily think so. Just because, like, just because you ship something and they end up related doesn't mean it's queer baiting necessarily. You know, like, I personally don't think that that's queer baiting. I didn't. So, yeah, I got that ask once and I was like, yeah, and like, can we? I guess that one's folded now. Okay. I understand some people did ship them. But, you know, again, just because you ship something doesn't mean it's queerbaiting if it's not canon. Or they become siblings. But I guess that's just my personal opinion, so it doesn't really matter. What is this? What is this? But yeah, that was I just ended up not answering that ask because I didn't really know what to say other than like, well, just because he's like super dramatic doesn't necessarily mean he's gay. Like, I do think he is, but that's not because they were queer baiting. That's just the vibes. Those walkie-talkies? Yeah, Des being gay is completely unrelated. That's just something that's also happening. He's just a theater kid. Exactly. I've been queer baited a time or two in my life. I watched fucking Supernatural for 9 seasons. And I actually still maintain that despite the fact that we get an I love you in Supernatural, I maintain that it is queerbaiting because it took them until the end to have a confession. I don't care. I think that's queerbaiting. People can fight me on this one. That's what I believe. I also watched Voltron, but I actually only watched the first season. No, I watched the first 2. I watched the first 2 seasons because I watched season 2 and I was so upset with some of the direction they were doing that I just like, and the way the fandom was, that I just like completely shut off in a way that I have never shut off from a thing I was interested in before in my life, and I never again will shut off in that way. Like, it was so extreme how I went from, like, super into it to completely disinterested, never watched another episode, never had any interest in learning what was happening because of, like, the writing and because of the fandom. It was so sudden. It was like a light switch. It was so wild. But yeah, Voltron was actually one I was thinking about when I was talking about what you accept and what you don't accept as canon, because one of the other big ships in the fandom was Shiro and Allura. And so when they were like, ta-da, he's gay, most people had to do like a quick little decide on if they were going to keep creating Shalora content or not. And I guess one of the answers is he could have been bi, but I can't remember what they said he was. So I don't want to be like, yeah, that's fine, because I don't remember and it doesn't matter. But yeah, where is this other fucking shoe? Oh, there it is. Yeah, that was a big one. People having to... I think quite a few people people added to their fics, like, so I wrote this before, and I'm just gonna leave it up. But, yep, that's what's happening. And I was like, okay, cool. I did watch Korra, but I only watched the first... I think I only watched the first season just because I was bad at watching it, but also Korra got really hard to find where they were, like, putting it. It got really hard to find because they kept changing where it was going to be, hosted. So that was annoying. Oh, I'm not even done yet? What am I doing? I have to stop, like... What is wrong with me? I keep being like, yep, I'm all done. And then there's, like, another box right there. I just, like, pretend it's not there. Come on, man. Shit. Rip on red versus blue. I'm so sorry. Can you stack your stuff more? Asking for a friend. By a friend, I mean you. Stack your shit more. You can fit more bras in there. I know you can. I know this is a hard fact. You can fit more clothes in these. Try hard and believe in yourself. Yeah, you can always fit more bras. Leave me alone, I'm working on it. Can you not tell I'm working on it? Oh, what the fuck did I just get? Put the tiger and pig side by side and you get an award. I did it. You can't advertise side content using their ship name and then refuse to acknowledge the ship in the show. That is textbook queerbaiting. Yes, that's an incense bundle. Because, like, I think the thing that was maybe missed in that person who was asking me if I thought Leighton was queerbaiting. Oh, we got an award for, I don't know. Oh, we just got a sticker. I think that was one thing that maybe that person misunderstood when talking about Leighton. Was that queer baiting is like is about marketing. It's mostly about like if you're using it to get more viewers. And I cannot give context on that, not having been around when like Leighton was happening. You know? That's not something person who just found out about Leighton, can tell you. Because, like, I don't know. You know, I don't know. God, we do not have enough space in this goddamn bathroom. It doesn't have to be using an official name. I will say that. You don't need to use, like, an official ship name for it to be queerbaiting. But, like, to some extent, you have to be, like, using it to promote your show. Like, that is technically what queer baiting is. It's like being like, we want... Yes, I know these are in the wrong places. Calm down. We want you to watch our show, so watch it because of these gay guys. And I don't think that's what was happening with Leighton. Oh, that's so sad. Okay, y'all gotta stack your stuff better for real. You can fit more stuff in these drawers, dude. Try hard and believe in yourself. I guess that could technically count, but it's gonna bother me. There we go. Fair. Okay, what if I wanted to put shoes in there? Fuck you. I'm not just gonna leave the shoes out, man. I don't know what's wrong here. Come on, why can't I have things there? Why do you hate me? That doesn't go there. Who gives a shit? It's my house. Oh, I did it. Was there queer baiting in Yuri on Ice? Sorry. That is an amazing question to ask. Sorry, that's so funny. Hold on. Was there any queer baiting in Yuri on Ice? I'm gonna cry. You just sent me right back to 2016, for real. Was there queer baiting in Yuri on Ice? Hold on, I want to send this to Nikki. I need to send this screenshot to Nikki. I think I actually have to hide my display capture real quick. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Was there queer baiting in Yuri on Ice? That was literally, we were fighting for our lives out there, for real. If there was one thing we were doing in 2016, if there is one thing we were doing in 2016, fighting for our lives over that censored kiss, for real. Like, there are people who finished that show and were still like, they're not together. They were never together. It's wild. Like, it was really funny. Like, okay, whatever you say. That's really funny, though. That's all people say about Yuri on Ice.
I mean, I've seen quite a lot of criticism of it, especially as it was airing, quite a lot. So it's definitely not perfect, and there are people who don't like it. But also, yeah, it actually is, it is genuinely good. I still think it will never not be funny to me that we were so used to, that queerbaiting was so common that we really were like, well, he must be evil and or dying. He simply cannot be gay. He must be evil or dying. Those were the two big theories, evil or dying. And those are kind of funny theories to have when you think about it. Yeah. Gay or cancer. Cancer or evil. It's gotta be one or the other. This man cannot be gay. He must be evil or dying. Not that I know of. I don't think there were a lot of fics, mostly because it was like, it's kind of depressing. So I believe most people, like, we talked about that theory, people talked about having that theory, but I don't think that people ever really, like, there might be out there, but I don't know if if, like, when I go through, like, the tag, I don't tend to see them. They're probably pretty low down, because even though it was a big theory that he was dying, there weren't, like, people necessarily making content for it. Do we have another bathroom now? No, we don't. Like, it was something people were like, hey, I think he's dying, but they weren't, like, making content necessarily. Yeah, I shower in the garage. Oh my god, a nursery. Well, that can't go there. Oh. Don't worry about it. Can we turn that sideways for me? Go for it, Hannah. If you find anything, please let me know. It was... I didn't really finish my thought there. I think one of the reasons it wasn't one people made a lot of content for is that despite it being one of the more popular theories, there isn't actually, like, a lot of canon evidence for him, dying. Like, you know, there's not actually, we got a baby builder, build a tower out of baby blocks. There's not, like, actually, like, a lot of actual in-universe, support for him having a terminal illness. And he doesn't. For people who don't know Yuri on Ice, and this is, like, off-putting them from it, Victor is not dying. He's not. So, really, it's only like 2 or 3 little things, and it just doesn't hold much water. So it's even though it's one that a lot of people thought was a possibility, it wasn't one that people were, like, going out of their way to make content of. Yeah, and I'm one of them. You guys don't know this because I don't do it as much with Ace Attorney. I guess some people in the server would know this because I've done my fair share of killing people. But that is why my URL for my Miraculous blog is called is Sadrian. It's Sad Adrian. Because, like, it was very easy for me to just come up with, like, the saddest thing. And I was like the person who was always writing angst, which is very funny because my most known Miraculous fic is, like, a fluffy ballet AU. But, like, it is what it is. I guess, you know what? I say it's a fluffy ballet AU. There's like a lot of sad stuff in that fic. What am I talking about? Yeah, one fic that I never got to finish was actually, it was basically a how do we get to a permanent team. So basically what they have now-ish, where you have like the cat, the ladybug, then you have the turtle and the fox and the bee. So those were the ones I was working with. And I basically went, okay, so Marinette does this because Adrian gets severely injured by an Akuma. Like, almost dies. It is an acid Akuma. So he is covered in horrific burns. And so the others are brought in because he has to literally leave Paris. In this one I stopped writing. I actually would go back to this one because I think it was interesting, except the reason that I can't anymore, can't is a strong word, but in season 1 we were able to make the executive decision at times to simply not have Gabriel be Hawkmoth. So I didn't. So Gabriel and Natalie literally take him out of the city and go somewhere else because he is so injured. But yeah, I was like, how can I injure this kid who has done nothing wrong? Acid. So I don't do that as much anymore. It used to be very common for me, and I just don't do it as often. Couldn't tell you why. Yeah, acid. Consider it a small miracle that I, like, don't regularly come into, like, people's DMs and go, like, so what if I kill Luke today? Because, like, that really is what I used to do. My friend Maya and I were writing, like, we called it a pre-write of Trials of Apollo. And one day Maya came into my DMs, I think it was Maya, and was just like, what if we kill Paul? And I was like, yeah, let's kill Paul. So we killed Paul. I don't as regularly kill characters nowadays. I have other things to do. I've got other things going on. I can't just kill characters willy-nilly. Yeah, we're gonna just start taking more things out. Oh! At the beginning, so I don't have to worry about having boxes everywhere. Horse. Oh, I hate that. No! Can I... Oh, terrible. Okay. Y'all still have walkie-talkies? Okay. So many of these little chickadees. Okay, that printer has to go somewhere else. Check out this closet. Put that there, and then these actually should go up there. That's gonna bother me.
It's a lot of tiny chicks to have.
You don't need to be hanging your jeans.
Oh, someone's sewing. Up the classic sewing cookie box. Oh, okay. I'm running out of space to put things randomly. So I have no idea what I'm going to start doing on Mondays. I've been trying to consider it, and I'm kind of wondering if maybe for a bit I should just do, like, art and writing. Because I'm going to be taking, like, I'm not going to do anything new this week. Not on Thursday. I'm not going to do anything new. But then, like, after that, we're going to be starting, the Somnium Files, AI Somnium Files, or whatever it's called. And on Thursdays, Ronnie and I are doing AAI, and I'm kind of like, maybe for now on Mondays, we'll just stick to it. Cause, like, I don't know. I really don't know. What the? Ninji, maybe take that, 3-piece suit out of your suitcase. There's just a suggestion for me. So you don't forget about it. And then you're like, ah, fuck my suit. Shit. Okay. These are pajamas. These don't have to get hung. You can fit more than 4 bras in a drawer. Just squish them. Just squish them. You can fit so many bras in one drawer. Just squish them. I am begging you to put more bras in one drawer. Please. Can I stack them? Oh, you're talking about in real life. I really went, wait, can I do that? Because this is driving me nuts. Literally the fewest amount of bras you could ever put in a drawer. We gotta pull it together. Oh, can I? Yes. Activewear. I will say my closet, nowhere near this organized. Come on, man. Okay, leave it there for now. Oh my god. I'm in hell. Just start shoving your shit into a drawer, dude. I can't help you. Under no circumstances do you need this many underwear drawers. I'm sorry. Not to be rude or anything. But, like, figure it out. Oh, that can go... This is actually not how I would want my drawers ordered at all, but too late. Can I? Oh, shit. Okay, whatever. Yeah, maybe it'll be fine. Hide that back there so I feel better. Okay. And then this is probably going in... Do we have like a... Yeah. Okay, this is overwhelming me. This one is pretty good. What the... Oh. Hello? That one's gonna stress me out too much. I love that we don't have a full bath. We're having a baby, but we don't have a full bath. We only have a half bath. Oh, here it is. Good. Good. I was like, where's our bathroom, guys? You guys gotta have a full bath if you're having a baby. Not to be dramatic or anything. Wow, the clicking is very loud in here. Can I put... Yes. Oh my god, so many tiny little things. Just start putting them wherever. We'll figure it out later. Oh, that. Wow, I really messed that up, didn't I? Oh, there's another floor. Okay, I get it now. I understand. I was like, why couldn't I find this earlier? Because it's on the bottom. Okay. And here's their laundry. Oh, vitamin D. Big door. We'll organize this all later. Do not worry about it. Although I cannot guarantee my organizing will be up to other people's standards. It's probably attached to the wall. It is a nice tub. Oh. Got lots of hooks. Oh, hamper. Can I? Great. I don't know. I'm not sure. I really don't. We don't have like a stacked dryer, so I would not know. Multivitamin? Lotion? Oh. actually gonna... Can you... Great. Oh, God, that bothers me. Okay. Oh, God. Too many towels. Okay. I'm immediately overwhelmed. Oh, wait. Perfect. Okay, great. Sorry, I'm just getting silent. I'm tired now. I talked too much and I'm sleepy. Too much ranting about Zero Escape, but what else am I supposed to do with my life? Are there more productive things? Absolutely not. Everyone needs to hear about my stupid Zero Escape AU. That's all anyone cares about. He got better at games. Well, that's a relief, considering we're going to be playing another one of his games. So it would be pretty upsetting if he continued to be bad at them. You know? Like, that wouldn't be great for us. What? Okay. I'm gonna probably sound dumb. What is this? This one. What is this? Is this curlers? What is this? I don't like having no scale there. I also don't like having that there. Alright, curlers. Sure. Alright, this is better. Thank you. I'm glad you like my Zero Escape AU because I like my Zero Escape AU because it's the only thing that keeps me sane sometimes. For those curious, my Zero Escape AU is essentially just only 999 is canon. And then characters exist as I feel fit. So Phi and Sigma are off in California at college together, being the worst. Because I think that's where they belong. I think that they need, like, I truly think that they need to be, just, like, the worsties. Yes, they're, they're in California, they both go to the same college. They, can't stand each other, and yet they are the other person's best friend. They are getting kicked out of every single, Olive Garden they've ever walked into. Phi absolutely hates him, but spends most of her time with him, and she can't really explain that one. It's, I don't know, I think it fits them. And then I sent this to Hannah, but I was trying to figure out how to get Carlos was involved because, like, everyone else, like, the 999 crew is mostly hanging out in Japan. except for the Kurashikis, who are traveling and on the run from various law enforcement. Except no one's gonna rat them out. Those two are just kind of doing their thing and will eventually check in via text, video, chat, whatever. But I was trying to think of a reason for Carlos to show up, and I ended up going with, like, he's in Japan to see a specialist for Maria, and Junpei just, like, runs into him. It's just, like, in a cafe, and he looked sad. And so Junpei just, like, decided to low-key just, like, invite this guy to live in his house. You know? Like, it's super, super silly. It makes no sense. I don't know why anyone would ever do that. But you know what? It's the choice that I made for Junpei. So, it is what it is. We all have to live with that fact. These will all get moved. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They have a they have a monthly Zoom call that's called, like, what did I call it? I sent it to Hannah because it was stupid. I think it's one of my most recent notes, so I can find it pretty quickly. It was stupid. I was like, Hannah, want to see this dumb thing I wrote? And I would just, like, went for it. Searching on my phone is so hard. Zoom. Ew. Monthly week survived the Kurashiki's death game Zoom call. There we go. I think they should all keep in touch, just because it's funnier for me. But I like the idea that Junpei just invites this random American to live in his house. Why would you do that? It's very pointless. I think that Akane and Junpei constantly getting together and constantly breaking up is really funny. Just, like, not the way it was in Zero Time Dilemma. Oh, they don't all fit. Oh, this is so upsetting. Okay, we'll fix it. Yeah, why is there a white man in your house? Listen, Junpei can't explain his choices, that's for sure. That's for fucking sure. Oh, why don't more of these games fit? The shelves are driving me nuts. Okay. Can you... Stop flashing at me. I'm trying my best. That's not right. Sure. Good enough for now. Huh. Does this have a... No. Have a ledge, thank you. We got so much nonsense hanging out. I like how I was like, I'm gonna unblock everything, and then I did that for like 2 rooms, and then immediately started like putting things away where they belonged. Wait, where did the bathroom... Better. I think, I actually think I decided the other night, and I was like, that's pretty clunky, but who gives a shit because it's my AU where it's stupid. I think I decided that for whatever fucking reason, Carlos just also knew them. Carlos was just just knows them. Like, I know he's older than them. I think I literally decided he knew them because he surfs. Like, him and Sigma both surf. So Carlos is just, like, pals with them. Don't worry about it. He just is. Yeah, they're just surfer bros. Sigma's like, why the fuck did you go to Japan? Okay, this globe doesn't belong here, that's for sure. It was very funny to me when we reached the point where it was like, yep, and the surfer is Carlos. No, it's not, liar. My fridges only actually have one magnetic part for the most part because they're not all made of, like, the magnetic stuff, so it's very odd to be able to put them wherever. What is this? Look at this whale. Okay, those are gonna have to go somewhere else. Oh, that's cute. Can you fit two? You can only fit one pot a shelf? We gotta be better at managing our space. I mean this so genuinely. We can't be living like this. You guys have a lot of anti-bug stuff. Knives. Different sounds. Sorry. I got real excited about the different sounds. Apparently they live like this. It's a little rough. Okay, just put it on the floor. Who gives a shit? Ah, shit. We gotta stack more shit for real. Oh my god. Oh, fuck. Where's the microwave gonna go? That's not something you just get to decide. I'm stressed. Go up there for now. I don't know. Usually they have a very specific spot because of the outlets they have to use, I think. So, like, usually you don't get to choose where your microwave goes. Usually you have to figure that out, like, I mean, it just needs an outlet, but, like, most of the time, like, you put it in a certain spot specifically for the microwave, and you don't, like, necessarily move it around all that often, you know? Toilet paper! Oh my god. This is why I never unpack my house. Like, when I move, I still have stuff in boxes from when I moved, guys. Back in 2019. There's just some stuff in boxes I never took out. Oh my god. Okay, it's gone, so that makes me feel a little better. Great. Ooh, deep breaths. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this whole house tonight. There's like a lot of rooms now. There's a lot of rooms. Hannah, I actually genuinely, seriously think I might do a tiny little animatic for that real-time fandom bit. I'm kind of like, I've been thinking about it a lot. Do I necessarily know who those characters are? Not all of them. Do I think I'm probably gonna be doing it? I think I might. I've been thinking about it a lot. It's just so funny. It's so funny. I do like the idea of, like, Aoi, like, riffing an entire, like, escape room. Oh, that's what the rolled up things are. Okay. Let's put that in. Yes. I think there was another one in the kitchen. Is this just trash? This is just trash. Never mind. That was embarrassing. Oh, rude. I like can't focus. That is definitely one of the big issues that I have with this game. I have a hard time focusing enough to there's just so much to do. And you can really tell that I struggle to focus on a thing at a time when I'm playing this game. Cuz I'll focus for like a few minutes and then I'll get distracted and forget what I was doing, and it's not my favorite. Toaster? That has to be by an outlet. There were easier ways for you to unpack your house. Yeah, the only reason I'm doing okay right now is because I'm talking to you guys, so I have to keep thinking of new things to talk about, which is why, like, you know, I'm cycling back to, like, random, like, welcome to my AU of our goofy guys, you know? Check it out. Seriously, we have to put them there? Okay. Great. No, you want your drink on your right side. Typically, that's where you... I don't think I've, posted my other unboxing VOD. I don't think I have. I have some one-offs that I've never posted that I need to get around to at some point, but we are not there yet. I'm doing my best. What am I getting messages about right now? Someone favorited one of my items on Etsy. That's great for them. What if they bought it? I don't actually mind. I don't care that people don't always buy stuff on Etsy. It just, benefits me when people do, because wow, things are expensive. Did you guys know this? Did you guys know that things are expensive? I'm just finding this out. Y'all need less boxes. I say this as someone with a lot of boxes. We need to figure something out. What is this? Ah, there we go. Oh, I have one of those. I actually have a very similar one. Okay, clearly I didn't do a good enough job. Wow, congrats on your book. Display tablet. Okay, that uke probably doesn't need to be in here. Hello. Yeah, I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. Leave me alone. This game is like, did you know you put things in the wrong spot? Yes. Let me be. Don't like how that looks. Up. Okay. I don't know what that is. Okay. I'm trying to get him. I'm trying so hard. Well, nothing's flashing at me anymore. So that's something. Hello? Put that down. It's kind of a mess still, but I guess we will take it. Ugh. Let me put the hats wherever I fucking want. Okay, really, nothing should be in the babies. crib. I don't know if you guys know this. You really shouldn't have other stuff in the baby's crib. That is too sad. These guys are going up there together. Oh, shoot, I can't. Really? Great. Towers were too big for my brain. Yes, I know I didn't do this room yet. Calm down. This actually... Nope, it shouldn't go in here. Well, first of all, boop. Jeez. I just don't have music anymore, and it's a little bit stressful. Can I have the music pack? Can I have the music back, please? Thank you. You guys don't have a lot of space in your room, which I don't love. Oh, apparently those go on the floor. Great. All right. Ah, bow tie. They were like, you spent too long placing things, so now you don't get any more music. Oh! It's like I summoned it. I just don't... Okay. Sure, right? Why not?
Nothing's flashing at me.
I hate having those there. I know! Don't knock it off. What if you guys just, like, scooted your curtain over more? Oh, we have... Oops! Forgot that shelf was there. Seriously? Okay. I know. Please don't flash right at me. It wasn't done in the kitchen. Okay, fuck. Don't you think I know nothing belongs there? No, not another sketchbook. Fuck. I should just be jumping. This is ridiculous. Okay. Put that down. I know. Really? I hate... Oh, maybe if I... Can I... Yes. Okay, great. Still don't like having the napkins there. Maybe I can figure out somewhere else to put them. Can I put them up here? Great, no fuss. The reason I'm now avoiding the kitchen is because of these fucking flashing. I can't. Okay. Deep breaths. We're gonna do it. We're going to do it, and it's going to be fine and normal. Not gonna freak out. What goes there? Okay, maybe that could be... Yes. Deep breaths. I'm so stressed. I'm sorry. I don't like when the game flashes so much at me. It makes me uncomfortable. It's a terrible place to put those. Deep breaths. It's fine. See how normal I am, guys? It's really... Oh, fuck. Okay. It's fine. Yeah, keep your knives on the stove. That's a good place to put them. Please close. Thank you. Where does this fucking ice cream scoop go? Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. Okay, great. Cool, 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 cool. These probably definitely don't go there. You are so stressful. Like, why would you keep cookie tins down here? I don't know, but I'm doing it. Whew. You want your knives down there? That's a weird place to put your knives. I think those... Like, okay, but... I keep finding things I didn't put away, and then I'm like, haha, it's fine. Dude, I am trying my best. Maybe we want the scanner up here? Can you invest in some shelves? Oh, I did it! Okay, let me move a few things around so I don't hate this so much. We did it! Oh fuck, I left the award there. I didn't see it. I put things down and I immediately forget that I put them there. Oopsie! My professional space for me, the professional. I put my award directly in front of my keyboard so it's completely unusable. That's fine. That's fine. It was gonna go on the bottom shelf and I forget. Oh, wait, did we just finish it? Or wait, did this happen? Wait. Oh, I have to talk through this. I have to talk through this. I'm so sorry. It's a beautiful song, but I have to talk through this because I cannot trust Twitch at all. I can't trust Twitch. That stressed me out maybe a little bit more than it should have. Wow. It was a cute game. It just, I'm a very stressed person. I don't know if you could tell. I'm the most stressed person. Have you noticed? Have you noticed that all of these people who work together are related? Good for them. Not all these people, the people on the last screen. Whew,
Why am I'm like all worked up now. I'm like stressed. I'm stressed. And I don't like it. I hate that that was my last screenshot. It's that terrible placement of that award. Okay, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think there might have been a way to turn off the flashing, but I didn't figure out how. I feel like maybe that was something I saw last time, but I don't remember. So no one yell at me if there was a way to turn it off and I forgot. It was cute though. Not necessarily calming, because I've heard a lot of people say it's calming, but that's for me personally. Unpacking stresses me out so bad. And my desk, if you guys could see my desk right now, you'd be so embarrassed. It's so bad. It's not the worst it's ever been. It's definitely not the worst it's ever been, but it doesn't look good. It is very cute environmental storytelling. The storytelling with no words was, well, not no words, but with almost no words was really well done. Definitely well done for the environmental storytelling. Sometimes you need something simple and not whatever the fuck Zero Escape was. The diploma under the bed is good. Man. Special thanks! I need, like, sugar. And to lay down. I have to go to work tomorrow. And I don't want to. I took the day off today. I wrote, like, 10 pages of my book, which isn't... Oh, that's very sweet. Which isn't a lot, but I'm writing on a typewriter. So... Oh, supported by the Queensland government. Cute! Oh, the ukulele. Aw, very cute. I'm 1 year younger. Anyway, I'm actually kind of glad we finished that tonight. So, hey. Okay. I need to wrap up. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking for another 2 hours about, like, my bullshit headcanons for my AU that only Hannah and I talk about. But, oh, we kind of, we didn't do awesome on these stickers. So, Thursday is going to be... Actually, let's... Sorry. I will cut that out real quick because that was me and Nikki's DMs. So Thursday, I don't know what Thursday is going to be. Sorry, I'm looking at my list of things we can play. I didn't think it was going to immediately show my screen. I thought I had turned this one off, so I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. So, I don't even know what I want to play on Thursday. Something, you know what? Maybe we'll do, like, a little to the left, or what is the other one? Did I buy that sticker one? I don't remember buying so many of these, and that's not great for me. These are cats. This is a longer game. I don't remember this. I must have bought it in a bundle. I think I bought, like, something that ended up having, like, a bunch. I think I bought, like, from Humble Bumble, like, 8 farming sims for, like, $20 or something at some point, and now I don't know what they are. I'd love to play more House Flipper. It just makes me nauseous. Your best friend Ghost Trick. We might, honestly, we haven't played Immortal Life in a while. We might just do Immortal Life or Stardew Valley or something. We were bad at both of them, but we might do one of them because it's something we can just do 1, 2. I don't actually remember what a little to the left is, but I did buy it. I think it's a puzzle game. This is another farming sim. This, Murders on the Yangtze River. This would take too long. Another farming sim. Potion craft. Solitaire. I actually hate these solitaire games. Like, it's fine. I just don't like this type of solitaire. Can't play that. It makes me sick.
This is apparently like... I have to look at this one. I don't know how to explain it. Don't know what this is. Our good friend Tyrion. These ones make me sick. Okay, we might do like a little to the left or Immortal Life on Thursday. One or the other, depending on what I'm feeling like. If I don't want to do puzzles, we're doing Immortal Life. On Friday, Ronnie and I are playing more AI. We are finishing that first one. We started very late last week, so we didn't get a ton done. And then next Monday, I'm thinking we just do a drawing or writing stream. If we're drawing, I'll share my screen because I'm trying to work more on my tablet. If we are writing, I will not be, but I actually, writing will depend on if I have things to write. I have some zine pieces that are due. If we do writing, actually, I have fics I can write, so it'll be fine. I'll just decide if I'm doing drawing or writing the day of. And then next Thursday, I think I'll start the Somnium Files, but I'm going to see. I'm going to see how I'm feeling on Monday, I think, because a week and a half-ish, 2 weeks out, and, you know, we're going to see how I'm feeling. I understand that I've been given the trigger warning list, and I have an idea of a few things to expect. I just kind of need to know if I'm ready for a lot. We'll find out, you know, we'll see. But also, like, Thursday, I don't know who will be here. So actually, it's a good thing that we're not doing anything really on Thursday, because Thursday's Halloween. I'm not doing anything, but other people might be. So if you're like, oh man, I don't want to like there's not anything happening this Thursday, go have a Halloween party. But thank you all for coming. Thanks for sitting for a really long time as we slowly read files that made no sense. And I keep seeing mind hacking at the bottom of my screen, and I'm really not okay with it. I'm really not okay with this. I'm not okay with this. So I'm going to go see if we have anything with sugar. I think I have both cake and pie, and I'm going to eat one of those because I can't cope with this. I need to leave. I'm going to go. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye. Have a good week. What the fuck?